Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday Dharma service, and a special welcome to those of you joining us for the first time. We will begin our service with the ringing of the kancho, followed by Jusege. You could follow along on the screen or in the purple service book in front of you, page 93.
Namandats, 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 namandats. 가곤조 세이강 이시무저도 시강흐만덕 세구저성악 가오무려고 의다이세슈 의사이쇼빙의 세그저성악 가시저문도 묘셔저지뻐 극염이쇼모 세그저성악 니역지쇼네 조에슈방요 무저도 이쇼텐이시 진리기엔다이고 의쇼무사이도 쇼조상크묘 고사이슈야크낭 가이시에게 메시곤모안 쇼아크도 즈다츠덴슈모 호소조만덕 이어러지뻐 니칭학슈즈키 텐콤풍에 이슈가이호도 고세크덕호 조다이슈즈 세포시시크 그여이사이브 의석슈덕호 단내시츠조마 덕의상하여 녀仏무게지 즈다츠미흐쇼 강하그에리 도시사이쇼성 시간약곡가 다이생호 書簡の国書天に珍妙受けナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく明のせいさいど本ぼ大心おじょあんなこナマンダツナマンダツナマンダツナマンダツナマンダツナマンダツ
Okay, we will now have the reading of Three Treasures, followed by Sankyemon.
I invite you to please put your hands together as we recite together the three treasures. Hard is it to receive a human form. Now we have received it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma. Now we hear it. If we do not receive awakening in this life, in what life shall we do so? Let us reverently take refuge together in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. Together with all beings, may we attain the great way of enlightenment, awakening to the supreme intent of the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. Together with all beings, may we enter the storehouse of Dharma, acquiring wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. Together with all beings, may we become united at the great assembly, being free of all bondage. Hard is it to encounter the supreme, profound, and wondrous Dharma, even in 100,000 million kalpa. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true intent of the Tathagata. Sankyemon. Ninjin ukegatashi, 今すでに浮く。仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。好み根性に向かってどすずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん。大衆もろともに指針に三本に消えし立て祭るべし。自ら仏に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは衆生とともに、大道を体現して無常よお子さん。自ら法に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは衆生とともに深く共造に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは衆生とともに大衆を通りして一切無限ならん。無常人人未明の法は百千万語にもあようことをかたし、我今検問し従事することへたり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祭らん。ナモアミダブツナマンダナマンダツナマンダナマンダツナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダ。
Okay, and now Reverend Umezu will deliver her Dharma message.
I invite you once again to please put your hands together as I read a passage written by Venerable Shinran. The first aspect of deep entrusting is to conclusively deeply believe that one is currently an unenlightened ordinary being in the realm of birth and death, who commits transgressions and evils, and who has been drowning for innumerable kalpa, continuously cycling through samsara, without any conditions present that permit liberation from these circumstances. The second aspect of deep entrusting is to conclusively and deeply entrust in Amida Buddha's 48 vows, which, in taking in the multitudes of beings, allows them to ride on the vessel of vow power without doubt and fear, so that they may assuredly attain birth in the Pure Land. Namandauts, 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 namandauts. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Good? Thank you very much to everybody for coming out to join us. And if anyone's joining us for the first time here or in Zoom land, thank you so much for being here with us. As I mentioned, the passage that I have read comes from Venerable Shinran, and it comes from his main text that he wrote. In English, it is called A Collection of Passages Revealing the True and Real Teaching, Practice, and Enlightenment of the Pure Land Way. In Japanese, it is abbreviated as Kyogyo Shinsho. In this passage, Venerable Shinran is clarifying a very important aspect of this teaching, which is what it means to entrust in Amida's vow. To entrust in Amida's vow is a unique and central aspect of this tradition. Because of this, we are urged to understand what it means to entrust in the vow. Venerable Shinran clarified in this passage, which he quoted from Master Shandao of China, that there are two aspects that develop in our heart and mind when we deeply entrust in the vow. The first aspect is to realize and know without a doubt what kind of person I am deep inside, and how this self, this inner heart, relates to the world of suffering that I dwell in. The second aspect is to realize and know without a doubt that Amida's vow exists for the benefit of all suffering beings, such as myself. And riding on the vehicle of Amida's vow will definitely carry me to the Pure Land to attain ultimate nirvana. The second aspect of Amida's vow, that is explaining that it is here for us, being a reliable vehicle to carry all of us as we are, may feel comforting because it affirms us and it assures us that we are being cared for, we are being thought of, we are being taken care of. The first aspect, however, being reminded that deep down I am an unenlightened, ordinary being in the realm of birth and death who commits transgressions and evils, who has been drowning for innumerable kalpa, continuously cycling through samsara without any conditions present that permit liberation, that might not sit too well with us. Because generally, I don't think we like to be confronted with negative views or aspects about ourselves or our inner heart. But these two aspects come as a set, and both are equally important. Why is this? The first aspect, coming to grips with the truth about our deep and heavy karmic condition that can commit wrongdoings and is drowning in this realm of suffering, it is telling us who we are and where we are. The second aspect of acknowledging Amida's activity to carry us to the Pure Land tells us both where we are going and how we will get there. All three of these points are very important to know. If we are trying to go to what we may call a better place, then we have to not know just where we are wanting to go, where we are aiming to go, but we have to know exactly what our starting point is. And we have to be able to determine the most reliable route and mode of transportation to get there. Whenever we want to go somewhere, do we just take off and hope we get somewhere? No, right? We have to have an idea of where we are starting, where we are going, where we want to go, and how we will get there. Recently on social media, I saw a video of a college professor telling his students that their generation is the first generation of humans in thousands of years of human history that does not need to know where they are physically located in order to figure out how to get somewhere. Can you believe that? He asked the students to face north, and they had no idea what that meant, and they had no idea how to figure it out. Now, to be fair, I know that there have always been people of all generations who are directionally challenged, so maybe it's not easy for some of us to, just all of a sudden point north. But we are living in a point in history where a whole generation of people doesn't need to know how to locate or orient themselves on their own. In addition to this, most of the people in that class, or perhaps all of them, had never seen a physical map. I mean, I'm not talking about the kinds that, the teachers pull down to show the world. I mean, do you guys remember, some of you remember Thomas guides, right? AAA maps, right? Road atlases. Maybe some of you are too young, but those were things that we had to use before GPS. When I first moved to LA 20 some odd years ago, GPS existed, but it was a luxury, right? Some people had the TomToms, but that wasn't like everybody had a GPS on their phone. So, when I came here and I needed to find my way somewhere that I had never been because I moved to a new area, I had to use a Thomas guide. I had to use the AAA maps. And because I didn't really know my way around LA, I had an aunt who lived here, and so she would help me find the best route to go to places so that I can get to my various interviews and meetings on time without going through, bad areas or get stuck in traffic or whatever. She showed me the back roads, basically, of how to get where I needed to go. So perhaps some of you have memories of doing this as well. So going back to the students, of course, because they had never seen a physical map, they didn't know how to use one. So the professor created activities in which the students had to figure out how to get from various place to various place using the map. They had to calculate their routes, estimate their travel time, etc., all without using their phones. Through this process, the professor pointed out the importance of orienting oneself before being able to head to a destination, the importance of estimating distances, and the importance of understanding the terrain and the layout of the land through which one would be traveling. He pointed out that when we use GPS today, we no longer have to understand where we are in relation to where we want to go. We just have to choose current location, right? We could be somewhere we don't even know where we are, current location. And then we name our destination, right? If we want to go home, of course, we'll put in our address. But if we want to go to a restaurant or something, we just put the name of the restaurant in, right? And we say, oh, this looks like the right one. We don't know where we're going. We listen to a robotic voice tell us where to go, and we blindly follow an algorithmic route that is given to us. Using GPS may be very convenient for us today, but the biggest drawback to that is that without that device, we're in big trouble. Without that device, we're in big trouble. We would have no idea how to get to a destination we had never been to. And if we tried to do so without a map at all, there is a great chance that we would end up completely lost. On the other hand, if we were to have a map that is not dependent on any electronic device or the internet, then no matter what, we could study a route before we went on a trip, especially a big trip to somewhere we had never been before. We could discern what areas to avoid. We could see where the gas station stops are, the rest stops for food and bathroom, etc. We would do all of this. We would plan our trip accordingly in order to make sure that we arrive at our intended destination as quickly and safely as possible without any unwanted incidents, right? Using a map and planning a route to a destination is just like journeying on the path of the Buddha Dharma. In Buddhist tradition, it is said that there are 3 pillars in Buddhism: teaching, practice, and enlightenment. Did you notice that these 3 pillars are also named in Venerable Shinran's main text? He revealed the teaching, practice, and enlightenment of Pure Land Way. And I have heard one Dharma teacher describe these pillars in the following way. Buddha's teaching is like a map. It lays out the terrain of the land of our world, and it shows the various routes to various destinations. So Buddha is saying, if you act like this, you will go this way. If you behave like this, you will go that way. Practice is like the vehicle, the mode of transportation to get to the destination. So how we act, how we behave, what we follow is like our vehicle. Enlightenment, nirvana, which means the extinction of all suffering and the causes of suffering, is the destination goal on this path of the Buddha Dharma. Studying, discerning, and then taking the appropriate route and vehicle to nirvana is what Buddha is urging us all to do. If we were to look at these pillars, I'm going to say kind of in reverse order, then I think we can all acknowledge and agree that reaching nirvana is the goal, the destination that we wish to achieve, right? So the question becomes, how do we get there? What vehicle or mode of transportation will we use? It is said that there are 84,000 practice paths to nirvana. How will we know which route to choose? All of this will depend on where we are starting. What is our starting point? Where are we in our hearts and minds? How close or far away is our heart and mind from nirvana? To be able to come to discern this answer for oneself is why we are being urged to listen to the compassionate vow of Amida Buddha. Through listening to this vow, we will hear that it was established especially for people who are struggling in this world. It is for people who cannot accept things as they are. It is for people who cannot ever let go of cravings and attachments, who are continuously having judgmental thoughts and feelings towards themselves and towards other people. It is for people who are constantly judging things as good when it is convenient for them and when something aligns with their sensibilities, and calling it bad when it doesn't. It is for people who experience fear and anxiety in this life and make decisions and act based on fear and anxiety. The compassionate vow is illuminating our lives with this wisdom in order to really help us orient ourselves within the great map of the world of reality. It is showing us where we are in relation to nirvana. Spoiler alert, having all these karmic characteristics means that we are extremely far away from nirvana. We are a vast ocean away. It doesn't make us, what we might call bad people. It just means that we are not close to being Buddhas in this body. So if this is the case, how can someone like me ever expect to reach nirvana? What will I have to do? Which of the 84,000 paths am I supposed to choose? How many lifetimes and aeons will it take me to move across the terrain full of deterrents and hindrances and the vast ocean of birth and death so that I can reach that other shore of nirvana. Buddha's vow is not only wisdom, but it is also compassion. Because Amida can see and understand the whole map of the unchanging universal laws of reality, existence as it is, and the essence of the human condition. Buddha understands our plight of having trouble reaching nirvana on our own through one of the 84,000 paths. This is why Buddha established a vessel for us to cross the realm of samsara that is actually separate and outside from the 84,000 paths. It is a vehicle that all beings, without exception, can rely on to ride to nirvana. This vessel is the Buddha name, Namo Amida Butsu. This is the vehicle that we are urged to take to our destination of Amida's Pure Land in order to attain nirvana. Next week, we will be observing our special spring equinox service, Ohigan. It is a service in which we rededicate ourselves to listening to the Buddha Dharma in order to reach the other shore, that is nirvana. So I hope that through this week and even past that into the future, we can all remember the importance of referring to the map that is taught to us by Amida Buddha. Through the vow, Amida is orienting us, illuminating us so that we can know where our heart and mind is in relation to reality as it is, and in relation to the world full of suffering. Amida is also giving us the reliable vessel of Namo Amida Butsu for us to cross over the treacherous terrain of this world and the ocean of birth and death in order for us to safely and quickly reach the destination of the other shore of nirvana through the Pure Land. When we are able to realize the truth of this teaching, practice, and enlightenment that Buddha is bestowing upon us, then we will know without any doubt that I am an unenlightened, ordinary being in the realm of birth and death who commits transgressions and evils, who has been drowning for innumerable kalpa, continuously cycling through samsara without any conditions that permit liberation. And we will know without any doubt that Amida Buddha accepts me as I am, allowing me to ride on the vessel of Namo Amida Butsu without doubt and fear, so that I may assuredly attain birth in the Pure Land and attain ultimate nirvana. And when we are able to keep all of this in our hearts, then no matter what's happening in our lives, no matter what's happening in the world, we will never be lost. Because that map, that vehicle, and that destination, we will always be connected to it in our hearts. So thank you very much for allowing me to share my appreciation of Amida's vow today. Let's all do our best to continue to reflect on Buddha's teaching, practice, and enlightenment so that we can have an unwavering foundation which to live our lives each and every day. I would now like to conclude my message by reading a letter by Master Renyo. Lay people in the latter age who lack wisdom should deeply rely on Amida Buddha with singleness of heart, entrusting themselves to the Buddha single-mindedly and unwaveringly for their emancipation, without turning their thoughts to other matters. However deep and heavy their evil karma may be, Amida Tathagata unfailingly saves them. This is the essence of the 18th vow that assures our birth in the Pure Land through the Nembutsu. Once our heart is thus settled, we should say the Nembutsu whether awake or asleep for as long as we live. Humbly and respectfully. Mandai machi no zaike shinjum no nanyo tarang tomogara wa kokoro itotsu ni shite Amida Buddha fukaku tanomimairasute sarani yu no kata e kokoro furazu ishi ni konibu tasuke tamae tomo-san shujoba たとえ在後魔人獣なりとも必ず皆如来は救いましますべし。これすなわち第18の念仏の上の世界の心なり。核のごとく献上しての上には寝ても覚めても命のあらん限りは称名念仏すべきものなり。あなかしこあなかしこナモアミダ仏ナマンダナマンダ仏ナマンダナマンダ仏ナマンダナマンダ仏ナマンダ仏ナマンダ。
Thank you, Sensei, for your Dharma message this morning. Next, please follow along as we read Ryogemon.
Once again, I invite you to please put your hands together as we recite together Ryogemon, words of understanding of our tradition. We rely upon Amida Buddha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our imperfect view. There is no doubt that the assurance of enlightenment comes at the very moment we entrust, and we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in joy and gratitude for the Buddha's compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and succeeding masters who have led us to live in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Ryoge Shitsugon. もろもろの造業雑種自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来、我らが今度の一大事のご賞、御助け将来と頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名はご恩報者と存じ、喜び申し候。この恩断り、弔問申し訳候こと、ご解散承認ご出世のご恩、次第僧正の前時式の朝からざるご関係のご恩と、ありがたく存じ候。この上は定めおかせられる恩をきて、一語限り守り申すべく候。ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ。
Okay, it is now time for announcements. On March the 21st, from 10 to 11:30, we will be having our Spring Higan seminar. And our guest speaker is Reverend Yukari Tori, who is the resident minister of the San Fernando Valley Honganji Buddhist Temple. It is a free seminar, however, donations are very welcome for this. And then the following day, on March the 22nd at 10 o'clock, we will be having our Spring Higan Dharma service. And again, Reverend Tori will be our guest speaker. And then after that service, we will be having lunch. April the 5th at 10 o'clock is our Hanamatsuri Dharma service. Guest speaker is Reverend Dr. Nobuo Haneda, who is the director of Maida Center of Buddhism. On March the 29th, we have a temple activity. We will be going to the Tanaka Farm, and we have Dharma service and then also a tour of the farm. If you're interested, we meet at the farm at 10 o'clock. It is $20 for adults. Children 12 and under are free. And please contact the office if you are interested. And the deadline for this to sign up is on March the 22nd. Now today, if you want to stay for our Sunday matinee, we will be showing 12 Angry Men. And it's a Dharma and a movie. There will be some light refreshments served. And after the movie, there will be a discussion about the movie. Okay? And then simultaneously, we have our Dharma Cafe, which will be held in the front of the temple. So we will have some tables set up. And if you want to have coffee and some donuts and just chit-chat, with whoever's here, you're more than welcome to join us for that. Now, as you know, this year we're celebrating our 100th anniversary, and we are currently having a centennial commemorative wall. It's being manufactured right now, and that'll be displayed in our lobby area. We will be having these gold leaves printed, and so we're asking that if you donate a minimum of $250, then you will have a leaf printed with the wording of your choice, and that will be displayed on the wall. And April 19th, from 11:30 to 4 o'clock, there is a caregiver conference that is hosted by Cato. That will be at the Venice Japanese Community Center. So if you're interested in that, we do have flyers with more information, so you can look at that. Now, normally we have bingo the third Friday of every month, but for this month, bingo is canceled. We will resume next month, April. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's held at our Kaikon, which is just across the patio. And it's all cash prizes. So the more people we have, the bigger the cash prizes. And we've been giving out a lot of money, so it's a lot of fun. Next, we have some items that we do sell here. The first is a temple t-shirt. This is what it looks like. It's got our logo on the back. Very simple WLABT on the front. Two styles. It's a V-neck or a crew neck, and they're $20 each. Next, we have our happi. And we typically wear this during our Obon festival, which will be held the last weekend in July. And again, it has our logo in the back, and then in Japanese in the front, it'll have our has our temple name on the front here. And for members, it's $80 each. For non-members, it's $95 each. And we also have new nenjus for sale. Now these are women's style. And we have this, it's all made out of crystal. We have lavender, we have pink, and those are $25 each. And then we have an amber color, which is $15. So I'm not sure why it's a little less, but anyway, so we have these for sale right now. We also have men's styles. I don't have any samples here, but we do have some in the back. So if any of you gentlemen are interested in getting a nenju, please see me. And finally, every year we have a yard sale. And this year it's going to be the last weekend, or the last Saturday in June from 9 to 1. And we are collecting donations right now. Basically, we do collect everything except large furniture, large, we don't take TVs, computers, things like that. And if you do decide to donate towards our yard sale, we please ask that it's dust-free, mold-free, and insect-free, okay? No bugs. So basically, if you want to purchase it, then please make sure it's clean and everything, okay? So that will conclude, that concludes our service for today. Again, thank you very much for attending. Also, anyone out in Zoom, thank you for attending. And Sensei?
Namo Amida Butsu, Namandas, Namandas, Namandas. Thank you for coming. Please offer the incense. Thank you.